beim Anmarsch.
Welcome back to Graviteam Tactics Mayas Front, friends, and here we're actually playing Operation Blau. This was the 1942 German summer offensive. In this particular fight, we've just got infantry support trying to get into the town of Krasny Poyar. So pretty much what I'm going to do is set up this infantry along what looks to be a pretty decent tree line and try and see if the Soviets don't reveal themselves. Now, a quick look at the map here reveals that we are the ones that are supposed to be attacking, so we probably are going to have to carry out an infantry attack. I'm hoping that this early on in the war we won't incur super serious losses, but let's be honest, an infantry attack across this open territory is going to be pretty brutal one way or another. So what I'm going to try to do is really mass the men here just to reduce the amount of ground they have to cover, and I'm going to make sure that I keep these mortars, machine guns, all this fun stuff kind of behind the line, or at least right on the edge to provide some supporting fire. These guys we're just going to go ahead and send right in, but this might be one of the more aggressive attacks you're going to see in this game. From the German perspective. Again, this is Case Blue, 1942. So the summer offensive, the Germans still had quite a bit of, how should we put it, confidence and resolve to, push into Russia and, of course, get a victory. Now, these guys are going to do something a little bit different. I want to see just how close we can get without getting crazy. That's pretty close, and that's pretty crazy, too. We can't go all the way out here. So again, we are going to line up right there, guys. So I guess we call this a full frontal assault. There's not really another word for it. Let's grab these guys, put them right there, and we will begin shortly. As always, I ask that you please hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. It does help us out big time. Well, wish our boys luck, guys, and let's get this fight started. It begins. We've got some artillery out in the front. It's damn foggy out here. Okay, well, actually, that might make our attack on the city a little bit easier, just because it's going to be harder for the enemy to spot us. But the same is true for the enemy. So here we go. I'm going to go straight towards Krasny Poyar. Just grab a nice group here. Do an assault. And with Kraus's group, do an assault. I think I'll keep these guys out of that assault, although I might bring up just some of the infantry. Alright, well, the attack has begun. Talk about a foggy attack. Let's hope it works in our favor, though. It certainly looks like our boys are ready for a fight. Let's see what happens. We just now started taking rifle fire, folks. We've been getting hit with mortars the entire push forward, but not many losses due to the mortars. As you can see, most of our guys are right there on the front lines of Krasny Poyar. We've also decided to send in that second group, although I am keeping the big guns pretty much right where they are. But look at this. We're finally taking rifle shots. We still can't see where the enemy is, but our men are absolutely getting closer to that town, although now we're starting to take some hits. Definitely some snipers operating in this AO. Just want to find out where that's coming from, and then we can really direct the fire. In this case, it seems that the fog is actually unintentionally helping the enemy a bit. But now our guys have taken cover. They're just kind of looking, trying to find targets. And as soon as they spot one, we'll get this battle started. Well, the location is officially ours, and now we kind of have to decide what to do with this force. Did the enemy potentially fall back to a secondary location? I don't see any on the map. So the only thing that I can really think that they may have done is perhaps moved farther north into the city, or the village. So what I'm going to do is, once again, massive attack this time, overwhelming assault with a dense line, and here we go. It begins. I already heard some gunshots, and look at that. They're right there, actually, at Krasny Poyar. Never mind, we'll lock that location. Looks like we might be fighting them in town here. But most of our guys are still going to be pushing forward, and I think this is important to sort of determine where they are. Look at that, right across from the location we just took. Let's center in all our guns over there. they're sure to have more men in the Dakas, of course. And if we can get some actual assault squads in there, we can do some grenade throws. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. They've got actual trenches here, guys. A bit hard to see with the fog, but I'm seeing those trenches now. Destroys a trench, boys! Yup, some of our guys are already firing on that position. We need a grenade for sure. Nice shot! We got him, but he actually threw a Stellhandgranate back at us. Oh, it's not looking good for the radio guy. Really nice shot there, though. Keep your eyes open, boys. Death is at every corner. Looks like one of our guys is actually trying to flank here. They're sure to be in the Dakas as well, and that's why it's kind of checking every single one of these homes. There's definitely a commander in that home. So let's just go ahead and line them up for a shot. But I'm guessing they're going to be hiding all over the place. Now the question is, do they have an entire trench complex here? Or is it just a few men? So I actually want to take Lehmann's group. I don't need to take all of Lehmann's group. Let's just take him, move over here, take this fellow and do the same. Here we go. Yeah, plenty of officers in that building. Think it's destroyed? Yeah. Or at least pretty badly damaged. Feuerschutz! Nice. Good work, boys. Looks like an MG42 right inside was the ticket. And look at that. Some additional enemy units over here. That looks like a trench to me. Got close combat going on over here. Unbelievable, man. It's kind of happening all over the place. But I was thinking they were at the northern part of the village. I'm not having any contact there. So maybe they have completely decided to defend this, for lack of a better word, we'll call this a factory complex here. Maybe even the Politburo. That looks like maybe it could be a Soviet Politburo for sure. A meeting space for Soviet citizens. And at this point, I'll just take Lehmann and go right on through. Like a knife through butter. See if we can't discover some more enemies over here. Not every battle is an absolute bloodbath. Some of them are just good old-fashioned patrols. And that looks like this is what we're going to have here. But where there's one Soviet, there's probably plenty more. So don't be surprised if we have some contact here. Right now our men are just inspecting these Dakas, making sure they're completely clear. Khalsa doing his job. Oh, heard a gunshot. Just sounded like a pistol. Maybe it was the enemy executing themselves. Gonna try and actually put Kraus in the old Politburo building. Because I get the feeling that if they're going to attack from somewhere, that's where they probably attack at. Seems pretty quiet so far. Now, guys, as we approach this position, I'm seeing a few things that are making me very suspicious. And namely the fact that that's definitely trenches. Look at that. I think our aerial reconnaissance has picked up some ammo crates, etc. So we are going to switch this now to a full-on assault with a dense one-line push. We're also pushing the artillery forward just a little bit to get some better range on the enemy. But you're going to see our soldiers start to kind of break apart here. They're going to start to spread out. And now is when the advance happens. We are advancing across open ground. But I'm hoping that just our overwhelming force here, and, you know, just the courage in this early war situation can help us out. We've, of course, left Kraus over here to defend the political building, although I'm kind of tempted to grab Kraus and assist in this push. But we can't send everybody in. That's just not going to be realistic. Although, look at that. Yep, we're already taking shots, and it looks like we're actually being hit from the right side. That's an ambush if I ever saw one. We're going to start turning and engaging. We've still got enemy artillery up there. Now we've got a battle, boys and girls. Now we've got a battle. Gelreiser is immediately starting to engage the enemy, and I think for sure we're going to have to bring some reinforcements just to kind of loosen up the damage the enemy's doing here. But it looks like our guys are engaging. I just hate this open territory that they're in. The Soviets remained in their trenches and waited for us to try to cross. Come on, boys. Try and go over here. We're going to try to get some of our guys to head to the woods there. We can still get into some cover, but we definitely want to keep up a line of fire. At least these guys are keeping up a line of fire, although they're getting hit really hard. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up. Man, I would love some armor. I would definitely love some armor. Enemies got AT guns, artillery. It's tough to deal with. Alright, I like that. I like that. I just said like. I'm going nuts. I like that. We've got the MG42 firing away. See if we can knock down some Soviets. And yeah, I think we're just going to take all of Kraus and go for an attack over here. Try and get a flanking attack. It looks like we can also go ahead and just stop these artillery units. Some of them are already firing. A lot of mortars are firing. But I want to see if we can get Probat to set his gun up and start hitting that location. Although it's nice to have mortars here. Better than mortars. Look at these artillery pieces.
Da drüben.
Looks like they are focusing on the enemy artillery pieces, though. And you know what? That's probably a better idea. I don't think I'm going to change anything. Because if we can get rid of those things, then that's one less thing we have to worry about. Let's see if we're getting any shots close. I don't see any damage at all. None whatsoever. Maybe it is best to flip over here. Turn those guns. Prepare to fire, boys. Hopefully this will actually make a difference. Some artillery support here for the men. Let's see if some of the guys did manage to get into the actual forest. It does look like it. Now we just need to make sure that they are targeting the enemy, although the range is not going to be easy for these guys. Okay, I'm seeing our artillery start. It's actually starting to hit the enemy, guys. The arty is hitting the enemy. Unfortunately, the enemy arty is hitting us from over there. Hard-fought battle. Still hitting them with that arty. Good work, boys. Good work, Männer. They are firing right back, of course. There we go, man. Let's see how we're doing with that artillery fire. It's definitely getting some results here. But I'd like to hit this mass group of enemies right here. We've got a huge trench. I think they're just enemy trenches surrounding us at this point. Now, every single one of the guys here should be able to hit that enemy trench works. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up. Let's get back to that already. I just want to take a look. Seems to be pretty effective. Nice! Keep it up. Keep it up. Well, it's hell. There's no doubt about that. But it's always good to have the support of some extra artillery here. And hopefully we're heavily damaging those enemy trench positions. But there's no doubt about it. Second part of that battle, we got ambushed badly. We thought we had the upper hand. No way. No way at all. In fact, there's even Soviet units over there in the woods. Man. Talk about bad luck for the Wehr here. We're still engaging, and I am hoping that this approaching infantry that we sent out from Krasny Boyar is going to be of some use. Considering that they're going to be able to move through the woods here, I'm hoping they're going to have somewhat of a better approach. Let's put it that way. And I should have known better. We should have moved through the woods. We should have leapfrogged through these different wood areas. But I went straight for the enemy, not expecting anything over here. Big mistake. It's actually kind of a shock that our men can even return fire. If not for the artillery, they probably wouldn't even be able to do that. So hopefully they're shooting properly. Hopefully they're getting some good shots here. Oh yeah, look at this, man. Firing into the ground, but it's the thought that counts. The rest of them are hitting targets here. In fact, I think that central German trench has been pretty, or excuse me, central Soviet trench has been pretty wiped out, and even the mortars look like they are losing quite a lot of men. Yeah, tracer rounds. That's what I'm talking about. How are those enemy guns, though, still firing? Well, so are ours. Tit for tat. Why have they turned around? Do we have enemies attacking? Oh, we do. Look at this. Enemy infantry behind us. My God. Thankfully, we do have some guys here able to defend. I'm gonna have to turn one of these guns back. Come on. We've got to get some additional fire on those locations. We need the supporting fire of these weapons. I do like to see that advancing infantry, though, guys. Let's really hope they can make a big difference. Come on. Feuer! Yes! Feuer! Oh, beautiful. Nice! Beautiful! And it looks like not all of the enemy are in trenches. A lot of them are out. But I think that's probably just because they're moving from trench to trench. There's that artillery support. Would actually work out even better if we push the artillery a little closer to the front, but that's a risk I'm not really willing to take. You know what? What do we have to lose? Well, there are still a lot of enemies there, so we're going to leave that second arty piece to keep firing. They're managing to stop it, so let's instead go and focus on our flanking attack here. Come on, boys. We're still out in the open, but I think the enemy's focused elsewhere. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. I know we like to see tank assaults, especially in Operation Fall Blau, but in this particular fight, it just came down to the infantry, of course. Yeah, we'll let him keep his position. Looks like we've got some much better cover here as well. Much better cover. He needs to start putting that MG42 to use. There we go. That's what I like to see. These guys out in the open are in trouble now. We've actually managed to take pretty good cover, all things considered. They're still opening up on the enemy, still getting flanking shots. So if we can rout the enemy here, I think it's not going to be a victory. It'll be a Pyrrhic victory because we've taken that location. But it'll be something. Let's put it that way. And we need something after that ambush. Oh, that was friendly fire. That was definitely friendly fire. Watch those machine guns, boys. That's what I like to see. Yeah, it looks like this trench, let's just get a visual. Because it could look empty and they could be fine. I see a few wounded, but not enough to say it's completely wiped out. So we still want to approach with caution. But I believe Kraus is on the job. Focus on that trench, boys. Another thing is if we could get into one of these trenches, we could use it against the enemy, of course. I actually like this spread right here. A lot of our guys in these bushes, etc. Let's just hope they continue opening fire. And let's hope that the rounds are actually making contact. Look at that, for instance. That was nice. Hitting the MG. We need some more rounds on that MG. That Maxim is going to be a problem. We need a lot more mortar fire, but look at that. They're approaching behind us for sure. I like that this artillery is working beautifully. One firing at the enemy approaching behind, and one continuing to provide this mortar support. Or this artillery support, pardon me. Hey, that's right on top of that trench. Nice. It's a group of trenches right there. If he could hit that, that would be amazing. There we go, guys. He's hitting it. He is hitting it. The man deserves an Iron Cross. It's even forcing the enemy to kind of leave this trench area, but we need to keep that going before we get overrun. I'm almost thinking of turning that other artillery piece just to fire there. It's so powerful. That support is so damn powerful. Turn this way. Come on. We need you here. We need both of you here. I know you're getting shot at. We need your guards to do their job. And we need to get a few more shots on those enemy positions. Especially this one. There we go. I love it, guys. When the artillery works in this game, it works beautifully. Yes! They're not liking that. Yes! Oh, guys, I love it. Oh, yes! Excellent tracer shot on one of the enemy commanders there. And how about these guys in the field at this point? I'm thinking, yeah, with that sort of artillery support, maybe we push forward. They seem to be pretty confused, so we might as well push forward, take advantage of the situation. Maybe get a little assault bonus. We're going to do the same with these guys. But I see that artillery... Nope, it's not slowed down at all. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up. This is an attack to the end, boys. I love it. Looks like they're falling back to the tree line. Yup, they're falling back to the tree line. We're actually hitting them with tracers, guys. Our infantry is taking advantage of this situation big time. If we can get a few Stellhandgranate into that trench or just kill the occupants, then we're off to an even better start. Need grenades. Enemy is asking for a ceasefire. How did I not see that happening? Yeah, we're not going to take that ceasefire yet. Especially with all these enemy officers on the field. We are going to try to eliminate as many Soviets as possible. After that ambush, none can be left alive. I don't think High Command would allow it, and our guys are not suppressed right now, but we can certainly turn that suppression against the enemy. Let's take a look. Whoa. They're still fighting. They're still fighting. Let's see. One of them has turned back, of course, but I'm going to readjust targets. Although at this point, they're kind of all over the place. Let's try to hit these guys by the tree line. They don't have any trench cover, so that should be pretty damaging. Oh, yeah, we're still getting shots over here. He's going to have to readjust. It's looking great anyway. It's looking great anyway. Look at the Soviet line, guys. Got Gresha and a bunch of other machine gunners also in action here, which is really helping to just keep the enemy's heads down. It's another perfect hit. Perfect. Look at that. Abandoning the trench. Oh, man. Not even the dead are safe from our rounds. Yep, looks like we did fire 2 rounds over there. Let's take a look at the state of the artillery. I think he's got him. And I think now he's trying to target that enemy artillery over there. Let's see if we manage to do any damage to them. Because this entire battle, they've been pounding away at our men, too. Let's not forget that. Yeah, I think they're out of range. So instead, we need your assistance here. Make sure we still hold the town. Yep, it's ours. Grozny Bahar belongs to us. This is just such a beautiful visual. Take a look around, you see the other German soldiers. There are some of them fallen, some of them still fighting. But this is as close as you're going to get to true World War II combat. And that Artie, I mean, it's so hard to accept a ceasefire with Artie that effective. It really is. If not for those cannons, I certainly would have thought about it. I'd also like to get the enemy to retreat, because if you get the enemy to retreat, your men do get favorable medical care, which means that we have a lot less men dead and a lot more men alive. That's certainly important to me, especially after that ambush there. I want to try to save as many of our guys as we can. But even trying to make this push against the existing enemy units could cost lives too. It really is a double-edged sword. Maybe we'll allow like 20 more artillery rounds in and then call it a day. I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments below what you would have done at this point. Would you have continued forward with the attack? Would you have ended and accepted a ceasefire? Or just kept your distance and continued to use the artillery? Let me know in the comments. Unfortunately, Probst doesn't have an artillery piece, even though he should. But we can set him up here and just provide some overwatch. Look at that, man. The shrapnel was everywhere. I have to say, not a single prisoner either so far. Enemy is not looking to surrender, and it looks like our men may not be looking to take prisoners either. This is one of those campaigns where speed is extremely important. Soviet, 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 Soviet. Any dead Germans? Soviet, Soviet, Soviet. Just crushing them here. Initially, I thought that casualty rate was going to be terrible for us. I think it probably still will be terrible for us, but it's going to be equally bad for the Soviets. That's for sure. Look at all these guys. They are definitely prepared for this fight. It looks like not everybody in the field was killed. In fact, many of them did make it out. But I'm not going to lie, we had a lot of losses in this field. Trying to find a few of the bodies. There we go. Yeah, quite a few men that just got hit in that ambush instantly. Didn't even have a chance to react. I think the only saving grace is they probably didn't feel a thing. But now look at how things have changed, friends. Look at how the Wehrmacht has turned things around. Gotta be careful on that right side. We're kind of not paying attention to those guys. Let's make sure we wipe them out entirely. Otherwise, they could turn into a problem. I can see what he's trying to do. Since they're crawling across here, he's trying to hit them as they move from the trench to the tree line. Probably a good idea. Also might hit an officer there. But as you can see, when you see this white color, it means that we've got a visual. We can see the enemy, which is not good for them. I can tell you that much. unfortunately, I think that our gun... One of them's still firing. The other one almost looked like it was about to retreat. No, he's good. He's good. Let's calm down now. Turn this way a bit. We are spotting enemy AT guns, and I really would like to take those out, but that might be asking too much. Just see how close he can get with his artillery. He's doing a good job no matter where he hits. As long as it's not on top of our own men. Pulsa is out there. Not seeing any more of that legendary artillery support, and it could be because, look at this, we've got some more enemies trying to attack over here, and it looks like the arty has become very aware of that situation. And they are firing incredibly at that location. Look at that. Yeah, they are trying to hit the enemy arty. Looks like they may have at least scared the living hell out of them and killed 2. But again, I think my focus isn't really the enemy arty right now. I'd rather they just keep on firing at the enemy over there at the front line, or at the enemies approaching right here. See, those guys are going to end up capturing our weapons. I hope they can lower that and still use it. Fire! They're loading it! They're loading it! Oh! Oh, it works! It definitely works even at this range. Well, we know where we need to focus those guns now. Oh yeah! They're even pushing forward, man. These guys are beasts. Although I do think that those Soviets will ultimately wipe them out. It's almost inevitable. Nonetheless, I don't think we can stop this assault. We need to keep going. We need to keep going. The enemy is greatly beaten up. We are too, but over here on this front, I feel as if we could just roll over them, given enough time. Look at that grenade throw. Nope, that's artillery. Mortar fire, rather. Look at all those dead Soviets. They're gonna have to start surrendering soon. And in fact, if we did have an armored vehicle, just an armored vehicle, the amount of prisoners here would be mind-boggling. Because we would literally just drive right up the center. Nothing would stop us. That AT gun could be a problem, but we would still grab quite a few prisoners here. There, look at that. Artillery is back on target. Not showing any mercy, as per usual. I'm really also worried about that. Just that group of Soviets near the woods could be a problem. Although I think most of them are outside of the trench and completely suppressed. Look at this guy, either taking a nap or concussed. Good shot, boys. They thought they got us with an ambush, but a counter ambush won the day. Or did it? We'll see. Battle's not over yet, folks. We've got low ammo, incredibly, on some units, and that rarely happens in Gravity Tactics Maya's front, or Gravity Tactics in general, which means this is a hell of a fight. Low ammo is hard to get to, I must say. Machine gun's still trying to hit those officers at range. I think most of them have made it to the tree line, though. One thing's for sure, they've abandoned their trenches completely. It still doesn't count as a victory location, though, and if we accept a ceasefire, we may or may not come out on top. Now, the good news is, look at that. Looks like we wiped out the enemy there, at least seemingly so. So I'm going to turn towards the enemy arty and try and knock them out of the fight. Interesting thing is this has now become the next location we have to take. if we want to continue the fight, but I think we can all agree that our men would be way too tired and spent to be able to continue the fight right now. Okay, we took some prisoners, finally. I don't see any alive, but some may get up in a second and surrender. It's good to see that we're taking prisoners, though. Come on, get those hits. Get those hits. Yes! That was almost a direct hit. I mean, wiping out enemy AT guns is very useful, or artillery guns is very useful, so we're going to keep firing. Come on, we need a closer shot. I know you guys can do it. I believe in you. You still see those tracer rounds in the distance. Doesn't look like, and actually some of our guns are low on ammo, so they might not be interested in continuing that artillery barrage. Do one more thing to try and get them to do something. I don't think we'll worry about it too much. Let's get back to the main battlefield. Look at that, man. The line is strong. What we could do is make a push for the tree line. Try and get any enemy stragglers. But I'm thinking the proper thing to do right now strategically is to just hold our position. With the exception of the guys over here in the field, I'm sending them after those enemy guns. In fact, I think we could probably get some of those enemy guns even from this distance. Oh, look at that. Enemy is retreating, I believe. Either that or the battle is ending, guys. One or the other. We'll see what the result is here towards the end. I want to give a special thanks to DaveZissou, KenDoggie, and Bostova, aka Icon Rostov, for becoming channel members. It's a new thing we're doing on this channel, guys. It's only $3 if you want to get the lowest tier, $10 if you want to get the most expensive tier of Senator, which allows you to help me pick upcoming episodes and games. So it really does help, and I appreciate it. If you can't do that, just always remember to hit the like, drop a comment down below. Doing those two things is really essential. And subscribe if you're new to this channel, especially if this is your kind of thing and you want to see more videos like this. We have an entire playlist of Maya's Front videos. I might link that down below, or maybe I'll just get you guys to go look for it. Nonetheless, getting to the end of this fight, I want to see the result, boys and girls. Hope we don't have too many casualties. We likely will, but hopefully the Soviet casualties are far worse than ours. I don't even think we took that many prisoners in this fight, which is equally surprising, especially since this is pretty early in the war, and typically the Soviets are much more willing to give up. But then again, I guess we didn't really overrun their positions. We were always at distance, so that does make sense. Still heavy machine gun fire going over there to the Soviet officers, the few that are still alive, of course. And battle results, did we not even get a victory or defeat? That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen that before, guys. So no victory or defeat. I guess that would just be a draw, although if you look over here at the land we took, we win for sure. Killed on our side 15, heavily wounded on our side 63. Look at this, 49 enemy killed, 25 wounded, and 62 taken prisoner. I like those odds quite a lot. Well, I hope you enjoyed the battle. I thought it was going to be a total failure. It ended up being a monumental success. Thank you again, folks. Take care, and don't forget to help out our channel in any way you can.